The Syrian Wars were a series of 6 wars between the Seleucid Empire and the Ptolemaic Kingdom of Egypt, successor states to Alexander the Great's empire during the 3rd and 2nd centuries BC, over the region then called Coele-Syria, or Coele-Syria, one of the few avenues into Egypt. These conflicts drained the material and manpower of both parties and led to their eventual destruction and conquest by Rome and Parthia. They are briefly mentioned in the biblical book of the Maccabees. This true color image of the region was taken on September 10th, 2000 by the Moderate Resolution Imaging Spectroradiometer flying aboard NASA's Terra spacecraft. You can see the outlines of different nations and states. So that's Jordan. I think that's the Saudi Arabia, Iraq. That's the border between Egypt and Israel. In the Wars of the Diadochi, following Alexander's death, Coele-Syria initially came under the rule of Antigonus I Monophthalmus. In 301 BC, Ptolemy I, who 4 years earlier had crowned himself king of Egypt, exploited events surrounding the Battle of Ipsus to take control of the region. The victors at Ipsus, however, had allocated Coele-Syria to Ptolemy's former ally, Seleucus I Nicator, founder of the Seleucid Empire. Seleucus, who had been aided by Ptolemy during his ascent to power, did not take any military action to reclaim the region. Once both were dead, however, their successors became embroiled in war. Okay, so this is the background. We have this War of the Diadochi. The Diadochi were the rival generals, families, and friends of Alexander the Great, who fought for control over his empire after his death in 323. The Wars of the Diadochi marked the beginning of the Hellenistic period from the Mediterranean Sea to the Indus River Valley. The First Syrian War, which is already in the 3rd century BC, the Diadochi, it happens in the 4th century BC. So the First Syrian War is already in the 3rd. A decade into his rule, Ptolemy II faced Antiochus I, the Seleucid king who was trying to expand his empire's holdings in Syria and Anatolia. Ptolemy proved to be a forceful ruler to his court-wiser sister, Arsinoe II of Egypt. Had stabilized the volatile Egyptian court, allowing Ptolemy to successfully carry out the campaign. The First Syrian War was a major victory for the Ptolemies. Antiochus took the Ptolemaic-controlled areas in coastal Syria and southern Anatolia in his initial rush. Ptolemy reconquered those territories by 271 BC, extending Ptolemaic rule as far as Caria and into most of Cilicia. With Ptolemy's eye focused eastward, his half-brother Magas declared his province of Cyrenaica to be independent. It would remain independent until 250 BC, when it was reabsorbed into the Ptolemaic Kingdom, but not before having triggered a sequence of Ptolemaic and Seleucid court intrigues, war, and ultimately lead to the marriage of Theos and Berenice of Syria. So seems like there's a few more. I'm not going to go through every single one, but I will note that the fourth war, which is 219, so it's coming towards the end of the 3rd century BC, is also called the Battle of Raphia. So right now in 2025, there's a major war in this area between Hamas and the state of Israel. They're fighting each other. And it's crazy to think that, since the 3rd century BC, there's been wars in that region. It's a war. So this war, if we just critically want to, maybe it has its own Wikipedia. So we can just have a look here. This is a picture of the supposed formations of both armies. We can see the strengths of both sides and the losses. It seems like it was a Ptolemaic victory. If there was 14,000 dead on the Seleucid side. Yeah, so it's a Ptolemaic and Egyptian victory. Okay, so that's it for this one.